What's up guys, it's Nicole and today I'm going to show you everything that I ate today. I have some really easy recipes for busy days when you're on the go, a simple snack that I love, and also what I ate when I went to dinner with my friends. So I hope that you enjoy and then it gives you some healthy food inspiration, and let's get started. So for breakfast on this day, I decided to experiment and try something different and make overnight oats. So I'm going to be making this for me and my boyfriend. And actually this is the night before, and I'm just going to prep this by adding 1 cup of oats and some cinnamon to a jar with a container. And because he's not vegan, I have always liked to make sure that everything I make for him that is vegan tastes like extra delicious and also has a lot of protein, just because I really want him to see that eating vegan can be delicious and that he can meet all of his protein requirements. So I just kind of souped his up a little bit with some vanilla, a little bit of sea salt to bring out the sweetness, and a little bit of agave, and I also added 1 tablespoon of chia seeds. And I just kept mine plain because I honestly just like it that way. And then you're going to give this a stir and put this in the refrigerator overnight or for just a couple of hours until all of the water is absorbed. Oh, one thing I didn't show here is I added 2 cups of water and 1 banana. For some reason that clip didn't work. So the next morning, after all the water is absorbed, I add some fruit on top, and I have some fresh strawberries here that I'm just going to slice on top, and I also am going to add some frozen blueberries. You can add whatever type of fruit you like, but I find that adding frozen fruit is also good if you're on the go, because if you are going to be eating this cold, it helps keep it cold for longer. I'm also going to sprinkle on some walnuts. I like this just for some healthy fats and some crunch, and for his I'm going to add walnuts and a little bit of peanut butter. His oatmeal ended up having over 23 grams of protein, which is something that I calculated and made sure I let him know, and he was really impressed. He actually really liked this, and both of them were really flavorful, whether you make it simple or kind of make it extra fancy like this one. And I have the full recipe in the description box. But on this day we were going to a movie, so instead of having movie snacks, I just decided to bring the overnight oats, and this is what we had for kind of like a fun little date morning afternoon situation. We saw Hidden Figures, by the way, and it was really good, so definitely check that out if you haven't seen it. And when we got home, I was pretty hungry, so I decided to make a little snack before lunch. So I have these rice cakes. They're like these thin little rice stackers, and I like the 5-grain kind. And so I just laid about 4 of those out onto a cutting board, and sometimes I honestly just eat them plain right out of the container. But today I just added some roasted garlic hummus, just did kind of a thin layer on top, and then sprinkled on a little bit of nutritional yeast because it adds kind of like a cheesy flavor, and obviously also some vitamin B12, so love that. And I also had half of a lemon in the fridge, so I just squeezed that on top, and that obviously adds a lot more flavor, but also some vitamin C. So this was a really yummy snack and kind of got me through. I waited about an hour, did some emails and stuff, and then I made lunch, and I just decided to go for a veggie soup today, something really quick, easy, and filling, and I make this all the time, especially after work on a busy night. So I had some cauliflower in the fridge, so I cut up about 2 cups of that and let that steam with just some water. And then I also had some meal prepped potatoes. Whenever I'm making dinner and I'm making potatoes, I make a lot, and so I have them on hand for soups or salads or anything like that. And I also had just a couple tablespoons of leftover quinoa, so I added all of that to the bowl or to the pot. And then I added this butternut squash soup from Imagine, and this is vegan and it's one of my favorites. So I brought that up to a boil just to warm it up, and then added some mustard powder, honestly just because it's really healthy to have mustard powder with cruciferous vegetables like cauliflower. And then I just put a little bit of salt and pepper and some sriracha. And sriracha is good on everything, but especially this soup. And then I also had some tea. And to be honest, I'm not a huge tea drinker, but this turmeric tea that I found at Whole Foods is honestly so good. And this is my 2nd box, so I really like it. And finally, for dinner this day, I went to Toca Madera, which is a really cute Mexican restaurant in West Hollywood in LA. If you're in the area, definitely check it out, because if you ask for it, they have a separate vegan menu, which I think is so cool. So I had a drink with my friend, and then we had a salad, or I had a salad, and this was their chopped salad, and honestly, it's so good. It was just cold, crunchy, chopped lettuce. It had some tofu and veggies, and it came with some plantain chips that you can kind of like crumble on top with a tahini dressing. I'm definitely going to try to recreate this recipe because it was so, so good. Then we had some tacos. One of them was a mushroom and corn taco with some vegan shredded cheese and salsa, and then the other one was diced tofu with like a salsa verde, and both of them were so, so, so good. I think I like the mushroom one better, but amazing. And this was just a really fun night. If you're ever in LA, I definitely recommend this restaurant. And also something that I didn't mention earlier is that I've been trying to walk a lot more for my exercise, especially on days where I have lots going on. So I just had a little evening walk after dinner, and I also walked to the movie earlier, and it ended up being a really fun, active, healthy day of yummy food and getting some exercise in where I could. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it gives you some good ideas, and I will see you in a video very soon. Bye!